Good evening. This is John Harder with another episode, and my good evening. This is John Harder with another episode. All right, there, got it fixed. Yeah, another episode that is about the free energy units, the generators. So, why do we need generators? Why do we need these units? What good would they do us? You know, I've often used a line that says that if a person was to break out of a prison, they need to know that they're in one. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any reason to break out. Well, the as many people already know, and if you are watching this video and you don't have any idea, well, then this is the right place to be if you want to know, because I'm going to tell you exactly that. You know, we had there was 2 or maybe 3 interruptions on Monday in our power and the service of you know, and these interruptions, they of course don't ask if you are in the middle of something, of a project on your computer, or if you know, in 5 minutes or so, will it be a good time to have the power off for a split second, so your computer will shut down and you'll have to restart it and all of that. That's not exactly how it works. It just all of a sudden it's dark, and so then you have then whatever you were doing and haven't saved or whatever, then you get to do that again. Well, that happens to be one of the minor issues that you run into with interruptions. Sometimes these interruptions, they can last for days. You know, I think we had one that was about, what was it, 4 days or 3 days or something? I forget now, that the power was off. But we had there was quite a heavy storm in May, and it blew over some power lines. Some of the poles didn't hold up to the strong wind, and so there was interruptions, right? And for several days. Well, then the next reason why we would want to uh, have generator units that I'm talking about would be because the smart meters on the houses that have been installed, well, they happen to be part of NATO's Agenda 21. Well, if you have no idea who NATO is, now would be a good time to do some research to find out what NATO is. To find out what NATO's Agenda 21 is, this would be a good time for you to learn more about that, because those smart meters are part of that agenda. So what actually is that agenda? Well, I really don't want to elaborate on that in this video, so I'm not going to go into much detail about it. All I'm going to say is that agenda is definitely not what humanity is interested in. Okay, it does not interest the person that wants to live a decent life. Doesn't interest that person one bit. Okay, so what are other reasons? Well, another reason is the fact that there's every month there's the bill, the bill, the bill, the bill, the bill every month. How much does that add up to over a year? Well, I guess that can vary from house to house quite a bit, but uh, the truth is that it ends up being quite a bit in 1 year. Um, another thing that another reason is for the heating bill, because now instead of paying a gas bill for heating the house and a power bill for the electricity you use, well, now you can also heat your house with electricity and cut that bill out as well. So now you can actually eliminate two of the bills that you pay for each month. Um, Now, in many cases, of course, the heating the water uh, is often with electricity, which doesn't necessarily increase the bill over the winter time then, but it's nonetheless, um, and in the winter time, many houses um, have the heat is with gas because supposedly it's cheaper to heat with gas and have hydro. Um, I am not very convinced that it is, but it might be. Uh, how much, if you really want to do the math and you want to figure out how much the extra, like how much does a furnace cost and all of that, I don't know. I don't know what it would work out to be. But here's what I can tell you. And I know this math really well. With these units, it's free. The calculations work out just perfect. It's free. It's zero. Okay, so um, when a person installs a furnace, that bill, you have to pay that bill anyways. So why not make it an electric furnace and then have a unit like that, and then you after the bill is paid for the installation and the not the generator, once that's paid for, you can run your house without any bills on as far as power and electricity and heating is concerned. Now I know that many many people are getting away from the landlines as well, which means basically that unless you have a cable bill, which I am sure we will also find a way to eliminate that. Cell phone bills, I believe those are going to be eliminated. Um, Internet access, that I believe will also be eliminated in the future, the bills. So, of course, that's at this point basically speculation, but I believe that that is coming as well. Now, imagine that. Imagine that, having a life where you have, just about all the luxuries and they're all free. They're all free. About the only bill you have to pay is groceries. Imagine all the extra time you will have to lay at the beach. How much time you'll be able to spend at the beach. Although I wouldn't really say that I wouldn't go to the beach at all, but my time would probably not be spent at the beach very much. I think I have plenty of other things to do. Um, the way I see it, there are how many countries in the world that I haven't been yet at? There are how many countries in the world where people have needs, where I am sure that I could go and somehow help. I don't know. I just see so much to that I would be love doing instead of spending my time at the beach. But here's what I would like us to imagine for a bit, if you will. Imagine life where family farms exist again. Imagine a life where a local garage and a local shop, like a local fabricating shop, a a local repair shop for to keep farm equipment going, a local carpenter shop where you can get your furniture made, literally handmade out of quality wood. Imagine that, not just going to Walmart and buying a cheap desk that is made from sawdust. Um, what else? What else? How about dairy? How about local dairy farm? How about buying your milk at the dairy farm? How about somebody else locally has a cheese factory who makes cheese? I don't mean a factory to make cheese for the world. I just mean for local people. That kind of thing. And all of this stuff, instead of it being packaged with all the poisons in it and everything, it's actually local and you buy it fresh. Fresh eggs, fresh milk, fresh cheese. Uh, I think I could get used to a world like that. I seriously think that would work for me. It would work really well. And butcher shops as well. In a local area, people can buy meat at the butcher shop, fresh meat. Somebody else makes sausages. They makes lovely sausages. She makes sausages. Buy the sausages. All of this, all of that operating. Oh, another thing, greenhouses. Greenhouses. Somebody has greenhouses and provides all kinds of vegetables and flowers and all sorts of good stuff out of greenhouses. Orchards. Oh, we could go on and on. And all of this stuff, instead of it being hauled across the country and having to sit in warehouses for who knows how long and all that, and with all the fresheners in it and the formaldehyde in the food. Did I just say formaldehyde? Did I say that? They wouldn't put that in food, would they?
Oh, yeah.
They do. They do. Formaldehyde in food. Imagine that. That's what we're buying in the grocery stores. So now, what kind of a world would we love to see? What kind of a world would we like to be a part of? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if you're in town and you meet the guy from the carpenter shop? The guys in the carpenter shop. You know the guys. You greet them by name. Now we don't know who our next door neighbors are. We hardly know anybody in town. It's designed. It's by design that we don't know, that we basically don't know who our neighbors are. But imagine knowing pretty much everybody in town. Imagine knowing the guys in the carpenter shop, in the butcher shop, you know uh, in the fabricating shop. Uh, you pretty much know everybody, what they do and what they're in for. What they're up to, and you have people custom make things that you want. you know, I think that would be a wonderful world. And then imagine that you're going to any of these places, you buy your stuff, and the item that you're buying, it has a QR code sticker on it. You scan that QR with your phone. It shows the amount in TBC that what the price is. It could be in US dollars, of course. The TBC wallet has that. And you hit pay, and bingo, your purchase is done. By the way, no taxes. No taxes. Imagine what a wonderful world. You know, there's a song that George Burns used to sing. I think that's I don't think I've ever heard any other of his songs, but the song where he sings, "What a wonderful world." You know, it makes me wonder sometimes if he understood the vibrational field that we are in, that we generate. Um, when I'm talking about the Searle effect generators, when I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking how they would help humanity, and I'm saying to myself, that is such a great thing that humanity needs so much, along with TBC. You know, so many of them at first maybe partial will be fiat money, at partial TBC when people buy them. But eventually we're going to have TBC, enough people using TBC that they'll be able to just buy them with TBC. We will no longer need the fiat involved, right? However, at this point, fiat is really what's needed to get that project rolling. Okay, so that is what's needed at this point. So you know, I really appreciate the idea that Roman had or has to get the more TBC transactions rolling, because you see, the thing is, if you ever given it any thought, uh, now of course with money, the monetary system that we are using currently, it's a debt-based system, in which case the less it's used, the better it is for the system. The less it's used, the less debt we're creating. That's the debt-based system. TBC is the exact opposite. It's an abundance-based system. The more it's used, the healthier it gets. Let me compare that to something. If a person has, I guess diabetes is probably the best example to use in this case. Not that I like using that word, but what happens is that blood stops flowing in limbs, and you know, and the fingers and the toes and things like that. Blood doesn't want to flow anymore. What happens to that part of the body? It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, because eventually it has to be amputated in order to save, you know, to save the person. Well, that's kind of what happens with TBC if it just sits in the wallet. TBC needs to move. It needs to move like the blood in your body. It needs to, it's life. It's life. It needs to move. It needs to circulate. Okay? It needs to circulate. Move. Yes, it needs to be circulating. It's abundance based. It's abundance based. You're not creating any debt when it's moving. And the healthier, the more it moves and more it moves from wallet to wallet, the healthier it is. Okay? So let's move it. So when I think about this project, you know, lifting humanity out of poverty, the project that TBC in itself is, in conjunction uh, with the power generators, there is very much we can do. There is amazingly much how much we can help humanity. Now, if you're watching this video and you're wondering what is TBC really all about, you haven't heard very much about it or whatever. Well, in the description, I have links. There's one of the links there is as blog.thebillioncoin.info. There is everything that you need to know about TBC is all on that blog. This could also go for many who are in TBC already. I know this because of some of the questions I get. Some of the questions that I get about TBC are people who have been in TBC probably longer than I have. They're asking me questions about it that I'm like, dude, you should know. But you know, people I think are a lot like I used to be. I used to not care about studying. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to, you know, studying was one of the worst things. To me, that was about the worst thing you could do, to spend time studying. Um, I suppose if a person was to just study for the sake of studying but nothing else, you likely wouldn't gain any knowledge doing it anyway. You may as well do something more useful. But if you open up your mind enough to actually want to know the truth, you want to know what kind of world you live in, you want to know how life works, you want to know how creation works, just of these few subjects that I have given you right now, if you really want to understand these things, you ain't going to live long enough to know everything about that. Not even if you live to be 200 years old. There is no way that you will be able to understand all of that completely. But that leaves us with a question. How much do we need to know? How much do we need to know to live a joyful life? How much do we need to know to live a fulfilling life? Well, that would begin with looking inside. That would begin with a question. If a person was asking that question really with, you know, seriously wanting to know, then you would look inside, or you could look inside of you and ask yourself, what do you really need to know? And that you really want to know what you need to know. And you will begin learning about yourself. The more we understand about ourselves, the more we want to understand about creation and about all of the other angles that how life happens, what is it all about? Because there is so much to us as each individual, that if we understand, if we understand even just part of it, of who we really are, we'll find out that we are really amazing beings. Because what comes into your life, you create. For this reason, it's sometimes good for a person. Actually, it's something good to do daily, to literally zoom out and watch yourself. Have a look at yourself. What are you really doing? Why do you do the things you do? Why do you believe the things that you believe? When you begin to understand these things, it's very likely that you're going to change quite a few of your beliefs, that you're going to start changing quite a few of the things that you do. So let's say you've been in TBC for some time. You don't really know that much about it. You don't know why you should uh, migrate. What's that all about? Well, you can go to johnharder.com, which is in the description here, and I have links in there. Now you'll have to sign up as a member. That I have the site set up that you need to be a member in order to get avail yourself of all the information that's there. But there I have links to all of these major questions. Why what the cookie rewards are, what the mission statement, the cookie rewards, why was TBC created, um, why we need to migrate. There's all the steps on how to migrate. There's video. If you need help with the wallet, I can look after that for you. There's a video that guides you through the steps, what you need to do in order for me to be able to send that payment in for you, since it is a cryptocurrency payment. So um, that's basically what you can do if you just don't want to read the blog and you want to still do what absolutely has to be done in order for you to be on the new system, so you don't lose your points. That's really basically the minimum that you would have to do, basically. For those of you, however, who want to do more, you want to really go for it. You want to help people. You want to help the billion coin to become what it was built to be, to lift humanity out of poverty and to really create wealth on a global scale for people, for help everybody. Well, here is a perfect opportunity to do that. And also, while you're busy, while you're occupied in doing that, you can also help with the generator units. It is a very good, and you know what? If you go over the information on the page on Myfree.energy, you will find that it's actually very easy to become quite wealthy by donating to the project. Because what you donate in fiat money, I replace 100% with TBC. I'll send you the TBC for the full amount that you donate. So that's really a win situation, big time, especially with the 500% bonus that TBC is putting on right now, beginning tomorrow. All right, I'm going to call this pretty much it then for today. I see my friend Romeo is on, and I really want to see his broadcast. Um, and I think I have pretty much covered what I wanted to say. So I'm going to just go and see who's all here. Dr. Joe Stevens, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I truly appreciate it. Marjorie Harder, thank you for monitoring again. Stephen Cuffey, thank you so much. I really appreciated your hangout this afternoon. Um, and then we have Andrea. Thank you as well very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And Bitcoin Scott, thank you as well. Listen, I truly appreciate all of you guys coming on and you know, listen to me. I hope that I have been, you know, I hope that I've given you something that has inspired you. So thank you so much again, Malco88. Thank you also for coming on. I am just finished right now with this hangout, but I still appreciate very much that you thought of me and coming on to me. So I'm going to be on Romeo's hangout now. So that's where I'm going after this. So maybe some of you are going to come on there too. Again, thank you so much and peace.